You guys, there is some bombshell information in this video. Before we get into it though, I did want to let you guys know that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all are having a wonderful week. It is so beautiful down here in Florida, and I hope the weather is nice where you guys are at too. So we are back again with another update, highlight to the trial that is going on. And you guys, I've researched a lot of cases over the years. I've watched plenty of trials. And this is definitely top 3 most interesting because in this trial right now that's going on, and I'm just going to say this for those of you guys that don't have 8 hours a day to spend on your phone watching a trial. You get off of work or you're on your lunch break and you're looking for the highlights. This trial is so unique in my personal opinion because every day there is so much information that you're not expecting to hear versus like the Gabby Petito situation where, like every 3 days you would hear some like bombshell information. In this trial, it is every day. You're like, whoa. And I think a lot of us can see ourselves in this situation one way or another, or you're just so mind blown that people that maybe like Johnny Depp that you've been watching most of your life is like this behind closed doors or has issues like this behind closed doors. I think all of us has a reason that this is interesting, and that's why this is such a big deal. Before we get into it though, if you guys don't already know me, hi, my name is Christina. I have a second channel, Casually Christina. I also have a Patreon. Patreon's for 18 and up. We do personal story times over there. We go live. We also have a $2 tier where we do true crime over there that is not suitable for YouTube's terms and policies. And then I also have an Instagram as well as a Facebook, and those are always linked down in the description box if you'd like to come and check me out. So we're just going to hop right into it. I do want to know, because I'm going to be putting more videos out, this is not the type of trial where I can wait until the end of the week. There's just way too much going on. So I'm going to put out as many videos as I can. So make sure you have your notification bell on so you don't miss them. Do you guys like the longer, more detailed videos, or do you like them short, get to the point, get in, get out? Let me know. Let me know down below so I know. So when Johnny Depp took the stand again for cross-examination, they played a lot of recordings that Amber recorded, things that we hadn't heard before. And they weren't great. They did not make Johnny Depp look good. And in my personal opinion, they didn't make Amber look good either. Now, this is something that I want to say before we get into this. Amber was in control of all these recordings, okay? So she could have recorded every single day. Let's just envision. She could have recorded every single day with Johnny Depp and then just took out those few pieces that make her look like a victim and make him look like the aggressor, okay? You could only imagine, if she's recording him without him knowing and they're in this, hostile relationship at this point, and then maybe she goes off the handle, all she's got to do is beep, delete that recording and wait for the next one, because some of these recordings, there's only a piece of it. You only hear like 30 seconds and it's like, well, wait a minute, where's the rest of the recordings? Where's the context? Because of course she's putting on a show when she's the one recording this. Also, when I heard these recordings, she's antagonizing him. She is trying to get a reaction out of him so she can have the recording. She was definitely setting him up. Also, with that being said, I do want to say, because I've seen some of y'all's comments on my other videos, I am not going to come on here and just take up for Johnny Depp the whole entire time. If he's wrong, he's wrong, and I'm going to say it. And Johnny Depp himself said that he was not proud of the text messages that were read or some of the things that he's done or even how long he stayed in this relationship with Amber. So if you guys want to just take up for him and make an excuse for everything that he's done, then that is your choice. But in my videos, I'm going to give it from my perspective. And in my house, we accept responsibility for our actions. I call myself out on my own mess. My kids call themselves out. I call my kids out and I call my husband out. And that's how we do it, because that's how you learn and grow, okay? If you make excuses your whole life for every little thing, oh, it's a movie reference. Well, okay, so am I going to go and, and say, well, that's what Michael Myers did, you guys. It was just a movie reference. If that's the way you guys take it, that's fine. But in my perspective, if it's wrong, I'm going to say it's wrong. Now, when Johnny Depp was asking about him harming himself, you guys remember that from the last video. Please go watch my full playlist if you're not caught up. Her attorneys in cross-examination was really asking him, like, why he would be doing that in front of her, that type of thing. And he was saying, the part that we didn't hear, was that he was basically telling her, listen, you've taken everything from me. My reputation, my relationships with people, all this. Here, you want my blood too? Here, take my blood too. Now, that was his story, and that's what he said, and he said that's why he was doing it. He also said that that was at a time that they were split up, and she basically begged him to talk to him, and they ended up in another argument. And so that he was basically like, so what do you want? What you want that too? And that's why Amber was saying, allegedly, in the background, I would never cut you. I would never do that to you, while she's literally recording him and setting him up. Can you believe that? How crazy is that? So he's like, you've taken everything from me. You've destroyed me, basically, The only thing that you have not gotten from me is my own blood. Here it is. And she's saying, oh, don't do that. I would never do that to you. While she's recording him and setting him up, like, oh my gosh. And that also told me that obviously she was not scared of him. Obviously, he's not this like attacking person that she's saying, because he had a knife in his hand and he was, why wasn't she afraid that he was going to do that to her? If he is this aggressive person that, chases her down, pins her down, all this stuff, puts cigarettes out in her, all this stuff that she says, why was she not afraid? See, that don't make no sense to me. And it really, in all honesty, disturbs me for women and men that really are in these types of relationships and don't have a way out. Okay, maybe you've been married for 20 years and your husband's been the only one working while you've been a caretaker staying at home, and you have no idea where you would go, what you would do, and you feel hopeless. Please don't stay in those types of relationships. Please call somewhere, but I'm just saying, like, those are types of situations where you understand why the woman feels like she can't get out or leave. Amber was calling him to meet up with him again so she could record him and set him up while she was telling him she wouldn't hurt him. Hello, I really hope the jury is seeing this. Also, there was a recording where Johnny Depp was talking to Amber, and he was basically telling her that, like, let's keep this out of the public eye. Let's stop this. Let's just tell the media we're going to handle it. We love each other, but we're going to separate on our own, and she would not do it. She was like, but my reputation. Listen to this.
It's been going on too long, Amber. Maybe we just got to stop this. Just got to stop it.
I don't know how to get my reputation back.
We write a letter together saying that we're going to take this out of the public eye, saying that we're going to try and work this out on our own, saying that the media has created such a fucking hateful storm that it's sickening, that we love each other, and that we want to make sure each other is okay. Have we had fights in the past? Have we had this or whatever? Fuck it, they already know all that shit. Don't matter. Here's the deal.
No, it matters. I have that you have no idea. Every ounce of my credibility has been taken from. I mean, and done so in a dishonest way. You know,
Amber, the abuse thing is we've got to deal with that. Yeah, we've got to deal with that,
Amber.
Amber.
Any way of my credit is my credibility. You know what?
And why did you put that out there?
I did not. You forced me. Your team forced me to by going on the offense.
I didn't force you to.
From the very beginning, I promise. Look up the timeline to these things. Everything is. Forget it. Forget it. You don't believe what I say. You don't believe what I say. But I did not choose this.
Now, you guys, you know what that tells me in my personal opinion? That she wanted all this attention. That's what all of this was about. All the recordings, all the pictures was for the end game of where we are right here, right now. Because if she really just, she is a victim, a damsel in distress that's been abused by this 50-something-year-old man, why wouldn't she just take that way to get out? Any of you guys know that have been in a true situation, even if it's in a friendship, a marriage, a parent, the first chance that you get that you can get out and be okay, you take it. You don't care about stirring up no drama. You don't care about what they do. You just want them far away from you and you want to get your life back together. This shows me that it was all about a motive with her. Again, not saying that he was an angel and that he had it together, because I don't think he did. I think he's toxic. I think he needs to get help. I think the reason why he ended up even marrying her in the first place without that prenup that he was trying to get her to sign is because he stays so flip-flop and inebriated. Like, who does that? Sir, Johnny Depp, you are in your 50s. You know better. Okay, I don't care how blonde her hair is. I don't care how good she lay down, if you know what I mean. You got a lot on the line here, sir. Your whole entire legacy. And he said that she ducked and dodged a prenup. You should have never walked down the aisle with her. That's on you at this point. But anyways, let's keep moving. I will say this before I end with the Johnny Depp stuff, because I don't want this video to be so super long. As much as of right now, okay, as of me filming this on a Tuesday afternoon, I think that Johnny Depp got into a bad situation because of his substance abuse that he probably wouldn't have gotten into if he was sober, okay? And he drug it out way too long because of his substance abuse. I think she fed that with him because she used too, and so he kind of had his little beautiful little life partner that he could do his substances with, but however, it ended up being like this all the time. I think she set him up. I don't think she's a victim. I think we pretty much understand that. However, I think those sarcastic remarks from Johnny, the way that he was to her attorney, who was badgering him on purpose, but they do that on purpose, was almost a little glimpse of what the attorneys are trying, like it's trying to show that, like, look, he gets irritated easily. And I think he shouldn't have done that. I think he should have just left that out. And I know there's a lot of viral clips going around and stuff of Johnny Depp making these jokes. And I know some of y'all down below is going to say the attorney was a butthead or, whatever. I'm just saying, when you got $100 million on the line here, $50 million that he's trying to sue her for, but $100 million that he could lose, now's not the time. You know what I mean? Like, this is a really big deal here. And according to some paperwork or some articles that they were reading in court, sounds like Johnny Depp's been having money issues for a while now. He ain't got $100 million to lose. The man that actually found Johnny Depp's fingertip came up there and testified, and he also testified to hearing Amber and Johnny Depp arguing while they were in Australia filming for Pirates of the Caribbean. But he said that it was mostly Amber that he would hear. And he also said that he did not see or know of Johnny Depp to drink while he was there, but that Amber Heard drank at least 1.5 bottles to 2 bottles of wine every single day. And he said he knows because he had to serve it to her. And he wasn't hired by Johnny Depp. He was hired by Disney to take care of the house and stuff, Sounds kind of like a butler, but that's not what his title is. He basically did everything for them. He set stuff in the refrigerator for them. He made sure they had everything that they needed. And while Johnny Depp was out filming, Amber was at the house drinking wine, probably getting mad and jealous that he was gone. And she was good and lit by the time he got back home. But he testified to saying that one time that, like, one of the arguments that he heard Amber saying, "Johnny, you don't love me anymore. Why did you move your hand away from me, Johnny?" And he said, "Yes, of course I love you. What are you talking about?" She said, "You moved your hand. Johnny, you don't love me anymore." And he said that it was like listening to a teenager.
Whatever it might have been, I was close enough to hear Miss Heard say, "Why did you take your hand away from me, Johnny? Don't you love me anymore?" Like, not in a playful way, I might add. And I think he replied, "Of course I do, don't be silly. You know, of course I do." And it kind of launched from that point.
You know, just a little brat that didn't get her way. Like, imagine Johnny, like, out filming for Pirates of the Caribbean all day, and she's just sitting back, like, drinking a wine, like, getting tore up, like, getting mad, probably just thinking all kind of things. And then he comes home, and she's like, "Oh," all over him, right? She's ready to fight, baby. She was ready to fight. Don't you move that hand when Amber's going to grab it, because it's going to be on and all the way popping, okay? And he said that that's what he heard. He said he testified to hearing Amber sounding like a little teenager that wasn't getting her way. Like, "You don't love me. Why did you move your hand, Johnny?" Now for the banger. And we're already far into the video. I wanted to make this short, but it's just too much good juicy stuff. Today, on Tuesday that I'm filming this, a doctor came up, a forensic psychologist, which is, I would love to do that. Forensic psychologist came up and testified. Dr. Shannon Curry. And baby, when I tell y'all, I was watching her testify with my jaw on the floor. I was like, case closed. This is over. Let's talk about it. Dr. Shannon Curry is a clinical and forensic psychologist. She is very educated with specialized training. She owns Curry Psychology Group and has about 13 employees. She testified that she's been in this profession for 15 years, okay? She knows what she is doing. Not only has she been doing this 15 years, she's got her own business with her own employees. Now, Johnny's team hired her as an expert to evaluate intimate partner violence, which is IPV, and they retained her in January of 2021. Dr. Curry performed a psychological evaluation of Amber, and she met with Amber in person, and she did an evaluation of about 12 hours with Amber. Now, you guys, the evaluation that they did with Amber was not your regular, let's sit down for an hour and tell me how you feel. This was a very extensive evaluation, and Dr. Curry pulled documentation from all of Amber's history. They also have testing in these evaluations, which I think is so cool, where they ask the same questions over and over again. They know, long story short, they know how to tell if you're trying to fake the test. You know, like if Amber goes in there and thinks she's gonna like put on a pretty face and pretend like, they have ways to see if you're acting or what is really going on with a person, which is awesome. Now, after her evaluation with Amber, the conclusion was mind-blowing.
As a result of the work that you performed, did you form any opinions with respect to Ms. Heard?
I did.
What were those opinions?
The results of Ms. Heard's evaluation supported 2 diagnoses: borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder.
Before we get into this, I do want to let you guys know, for all of my people out there, I do not believe that BPD or this histrionic disorder, if you have these disorders or if you know somebody that has them, Amber Heard does not represent all these people, okay? I have a friend that has BPD. It's a struggle every day, okay? It's very hard, but she don't do none of this stuff like Amber's doing. Now, some people do. I done seen some people, but it doesn't represent everybody, so we just need to get that out there. Amber is Amber all by her doggone self.
One of the primary things I learned was that she had a very sophisticated way of minimizing any personal problems. I also learned that she tends to, there were a number of characteristics that were consistent with the eventual diagnoses, but some of the primary characteristics, and I'm going to try to condense 25 pages here, were essentially externalization of blame, tending to have a lot of inner hostility that is attempted to be controlled, a tendency to be very self-righteous, but to also deny that self-righteousness and to judge others critically against these sort of high standards for moral value, but also to deny doing that, essentially to claim that one is very non-judgmental and accepting, and yet very full of rage, really. And these aren't facts, but her scores essentially correlated, so they were consistent with other people who obtained these scores who have been shown through many, many, many studies to have these very specific traits. So externalization of blame, a lot of inner anger and hostility, sometimes that anger among these groups with similar scores, these people might have that anger kind of explode out at times. They tend to be very passive aggressive. They may be self-indulgent, very self-centered. They could use manipulation tactics to try to get their needs met, very needy of attention, acceptance, approval. They tend to distance people who are close to them. Initially, they may seem very charming. They're very socially sophisticated, actually. That was a major component on there.
Now, Amber's MMP results are as followed. You guys listen to this.
This might be an appropriate time to describe a little bit about these personality disorders, because I think what you'll hear is that there's a lot of consistency there. So borderline personality disorder is a disorder of stability. It's instability, and it's instability in personal relationships. It's instability in their emotions. It's instability in their behavior, and it's instability in their sense of self and their identity. And that instability is really driven by this underlying terror of abandonment. So one of the key features also of this disorder, and all of it is like pistons of an engine kind of firing off and igniting one another. But when somebody is afraid of being abandoned by their partner or by anybody else in their environment, and they have this disorder, they'll make desperate attempts to prevent that from happening. They'll make desperate attempts to prevent that from happening.
I'm not asking you to have a bloodbath over walking away. I'm asking you to work it out over prolonging it and making it bigger. You know?
But if things get heated,
Yeah.
and it looks like it's going somewhere nasty, and the name calling begins, and all that stuff, I've got to get away. I'm not gonna stand and fight with you. I will not. You can call me a coward.
I don't
You
want
can call
that.
me anything you want. All those names, do it. But I will not do it again.
And those desperate attempts could be physical aggression, it could be threatening, it could be harming themselves. But these are behaviors that are usually very extreme and very concerning to the people around them. The anger is typically what, sadly, it's counteractive, right? So the thing these people fear most is being abandoned, but over time, the anger, the explosive anger that they show when somebody is needing space, or when somebody's really not doing anything wrong, because a lot of times they read into things that they perceive as being a slight to them or being somebody intending to harm them that actually isn't happening. They'll exaggerate it.
Miss Heard say, "Why did you take your hand away from me, Johnny? Don't you love me anymore?"
And they'll explode, they'll react in this heightened manner that is just exhausting for their partners. Oftentimes their partners will try to make them happy at first and really allow themselves to be a punching bag, thinking that they can somehow solve this problem, that somehow they can make this better. And eventually it just overwhelms them. And that reactivity is when you're gonna see a lot of this escalation in the bizarre behavior. They can react violently, they can react aggressively, they will often physically prevent their partner from trying to leave if their partner wants to get space from all of this intense emotion.
Then say goodbye.
Stop rushing me! Stop pushing me in the corner and then poking me with a stick and then saying, why are you saying the words you want me to say? Stop poking me! Stop rushing me! Stop throwing me against the wall and going, what? You don't like that wall? You don't like the fucking wall? Stop pushing me!
But this is not love. This is not happiness. This is not. This is.
Please stop doing this. Please, you're causing so much fucking stress. I'm gonna die at this age. I'm gonna fucking die. You're causing me so much stress. Please stop. Please. I feel like I have heart attacks almost every day. Please stop. Please stop doing it. Please stop. He's so fucking mean.
Why
You're
are
a
you
fucking
with me?
bully. Stop. Please stop. I've been begging you not to fight. I just said, can we please have a normal argument? Just even a normal conversation, fucking normal argument. And for the last hour, I've been begging you to please just leave it at that. Let's just go on with our night. I would have been able to come in with you. We would have been able to let it go in a few minutes. It would have been fine. It would just, if we allowed ourselves to have fucking normal arguments. Please, you're killing me with this. You're killing me. You're fucking killing me. Fuck.
And one of the most common tactics that they'll use is actually physically assaulting and then getting harmed themselves. But mostly, we call this administrative violence. So essentially, this is saying that they'll make threats using the legal system. So they might say that they are going to file a restraining order or claim abuse, or they might do these things to essentially try to keep their partner from leaving. In the moment, again, they're not consciously thinking, I'm going to keep my partner from leaving right now. They're just thinking, I can't stand this. I hate my partner. They went from idealizing to suddenly devaluing because of the hurt, and they'll do anything to express that big emotion of anger.
Her code type main was 3-6.
So a 3-6 code type, a lot of that anger is expressed in this code type. There can be actually a lot of cruelty, usually with people who are less powerful. Actually, when you see this code type, you want to, if you can, to follow up with subordinates, co-workers, people who may have observed their behavior more closely. The 3-6 code type is very concerned with their image, very attention-seeking, very prone to externalizing blame to a point where it's unclear whether they can even admit to themselves that they do have responsibility in certain areas. A lot of suppressed and denied anger, but the anger is very present, will explode out, and a lot of issues in their close relationships.
This doctor also concluded that she does not believe that Amber Heard has PTSD. Because, Amber Heard is claiming that she got PTSD from all the situation. She said it's not PTSD.
As a result of applying those protocols, what did you conclude?
Ms. Heard did not have PTSD, and there were also pretty significant indications that she was grossly exaggerating symptoms of PTSD when asked about them.
How did you make that latter conclusion?
So one of the strengths of this test, as I mentioned, the important thing about any test used when you're doing an evaluation in forensics is to make sure that the person is responding accurately. And this test does that by not just asking people whether they have a symptom, but asking follow-up questions that draw out very detailed accounts of every single symptom of PTSD. And when you're really familiar with this disorder, which you need to be to administer this test, there are nuances in the way a person will describe their symptoms that have been shown repeatedly to indicate exaggeration or faking. There are also indications when somebody is clearly giving you a genuine response.
That to me was such a bombshell witness. Now, of course, Amber's team came in and honestly disgustingly tried to undermine everything that this Dr. Curry was saying.
Dr. Curry, you're not board certified, correct?
No, I'm not.
Not in clinical psychology or in forensic psychology, correct?
No, I'm a licensed clinical psychologist.
But you're not board certified?
No.
Okay. And you also have only been practicing approximately 8 years, is that correct?
That's not correct.
How many years?
I've been licensed for 10 years,
Okay.
and I've been practicing for about 15 years.
Okay. And that includes what you went through with your different trials in Hawaii and everything else that you testified to, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you went to Mr. Depp's home for dinner and drinks before you were hired as an expert in this case, correct?
That's not quite right. I was interviewed at Mr. Depp's home by his legal team. Dinner was served.
You, in attendance with Mr. Depp was Adam Waldman, correct?
Yes.
Ben Chu, correct?
Yes.
Camille Vasquez?
Yes.
Okay. And the dinner lasted approximately 3 to 4 hours, correct?
Yes.
And it included
The interview.
drinks, correct?
Yes, dinner and I believe drinks were served.
Okay. And this was before you were hired as an expert, correct?
Yes, this was an interview so that they could make an informed decision as to whether or not to retain me.
And don't you think that's a little odd that you're getting interviewed by Mr. Depp to decide whether you're going to testify adversely against Amber Heard?
I was interviewed by the legal team.
Okay. And Mr. Depp was present. It was his home, correct?
Yes.
And he was serving dinner and drinks.
He was
correct?
not serving dinner and drinks.
Well, it was at his house at his behest, correct?
Yes, it was at his house.
Okay.
They tried to make her seem like she was saying all this. In my personal opinion, that's what it seemed like to me. They were trying to make it seem like Dr. Curry came up with these evaluations because she was a fan of Johnny Depp, which this woman is extremely well educated. Like, she's been doing this for almost 2 decades. She works with high profile people all the time. She's not up here testifying and just made up some accusations or some random diagnosis because she likes watching Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I seriously doubt it. But it's very interesting because if everything she's saying is true, and I do believe everything she's saying is true, the type of people that codes like Amber did, they instigate stuff. They have to be the center of attention. The moment that you don't give them what they want, it's all bets are off. It's on and popping. And that's really what this case seems like. If you guys remember the video that we just played earlier about how, Johnny Depp was just trying to end this amicably and out of the public eye, and Amber refused. Why? Why not just go on about your life and be happy? Because you got to be center of attention. And she's on full stage right now. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. This is a lot, you guys. I want to know all y'all's opinions. I'm going to be reading comments. I love you guys, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust.